Yo guys, it's me, that guy. So a while ago I said that insulating the roof is not enough. If we turn our attention to that thing, then we can clearly see that it's still below freezing inside. And that's because the building has no heat source whatsoever. So to make sure that this pipe does not freeze, I have two options. Either I install a heat source here and heat the entire building to a certain degree. Seems kinda unnecessary considering nobody's living in it. The other option is to create some type of a box around the pipe and then heat that box with something very small. For example, something like this. Now these bulbs are quite inefficient, but they do kind of help to heat up the room. Maybe the thing would work as my box heater. So let's build that box thing and then insulate that box thing with that mineral wool there, and then install the nuclear reactor. So I thought the top is 200. Why do the sides have to be anything less than that? I think let's double down. Cozy little place. I would definitely live here. Maybe. For those who know, they know. But anyway, let's hook up the nuclear reactor. Maybe it will get warmer. So I'm gonna leave the light on there for about an hour, see how it goes. Personally, I think the 25-watt bulb is a bit much. Might need to go lower. Actually, it's been about 4 hours now. This is a bit much though, so I might just put a smaller lamp there. The real question though is, how long it will keep the temperature above 0. So let's come back in about 15 hours and hopefully the temperature will still be above 0. Actually, not bad. Think this will do for now. But anyway, let's go do something else now. Yeah.
So this thing needs some attention. Now, I've owned the thing for about, I think I got it in 2014. So 9 years now. And the thing has been a fantastic chainsaw. It always starts up, has plenty of power, and overall works pretty good. Even at one point, I ran the thing on half a tank of gasoline and half a tank of bar oil. Only side effect I noticed was there was bar oil oozing out of the exhaust. But there has been this one thing I absolutely hate about this saw. And that thing is the chain tensioner, which is tucked away down there. I think on any normal brand, the chain tensioner is somewhere here. But for some reason, Echo decided to put it there. That spot is always clogged up with sawdust. You can't really turn it very well when trying to turn it on uneven ground in the forest. Overall, a pretty bad spot for the chain tensioner. I mean, Echo, if your goal was to piss off your customers, good job. But I have a tip for you if you wanna improve this situation. Instead of mounting the tensioner there, maybe next time put it somewhere under the engine. Or better yet, somehow engineer it inside the combustion chamber. That would really piss off your customers. I mean, if that's your goal. But anyway, the other issue with the tensioner is that the thing is constantly broken. I think it broke like a year after I got the saw. Took it to the shop, they rebuilt it under warranty. But 2 years after that, the thing is broken again. I've been mostly ignoring it because of the type of fault it has. So the issue is that this pin here that is supposed to tension the chain, it will only go to about the middle area. And from here it really gets hard to turn the thing. The thing won't turn at all anymore. Now normally I've been ignoring this problem, mostly because of this bar. It does not require the tensioner to go that far out. But this original bar that came with the saw, I mean the sprocket on it is, I mean it's just gone, man. There's almost nothing left of this sprocket. Plus I think it will just break into two pretty soon. So I got a new bar for the thing. But the problem with this bar is that the tensioner needs to be further out in order for it to work. So clearly this is not enough. Last time the Echo dealership fixed it up, so I didn't really know what failed. But it was the same issue, so let's check it out. Apparently it's a pretty common problem according to the dealership. The teeth on the thing, I think the teeth are just completely worn out. Don't think they're supposed to be pointy like that. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Yeah. The thing is not straight, it's bent. I do wonder how that happened. Huh. Now it went nicely to the end. Maybe that's all it took. Didn't even need to order any spare parts for this one. I can finally use my new bar. Just for comparison though, I'm gonna order the new tensioner setup so we can compare the wear and tear. See what's what. They actually look pretty similar. There is a bit of wear, but nothing too serious. This bit though, how can this happen in just 2 years? And it's not like I'm using the thing every day. How many times do you tension the chain up? This is a clear example what Chinesium alloy looks like. If you don't know what Chinesium is, then let's break it down for you on some paper. So, Chinesium alloy. So typically, this stuff is made out of 4 different stuff. So usually there's about 37% of plastic waste. Then there's about 41.7% of cardboard. Then there's about 2.8 of steel. The fourth and most important element in the alloy is hope. About 370%. Chinesium hope. So this is the usual composition of what a typical Chinesium alloy is made out of. Seems about right. Yeah, works like a charm now. So while I was waiting for that part to arrive, another thing kind of broke on this saw. Yeah. When installing this thing, you gotta be really careful. Now you gotta make sure that you're wearing some eye protection. This thing can really mess up your eyes if it untangled itself and just exploded into your face. Your best option would be to wear some triple protection. But the thing with that is you can't see anything. So installing this thing is pretty straightforward. Oh man. Guess I messed that up. But it's fine. You can do it manually as well. Now, if you want, you can try to repair the old spring. You know, usually what happens is that well, this bit here will just break off, and you can shorten the spring a bit and then bend a new hook on it. But usually getting that hook right on the money is not that easy. I think this is called spring steel. So bending this stuff is not, but basically it will just snap very easily. Like for example. So in order to bend this and not break it, heat the thing up first. And then bend it. So yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to do it. But usually it's not really worth it. Considering a new spring is about $4. I do recall though that the starting rope was a bit short. Come on. Oh, there we go. No, nyt juhtus. Oh. So I was wondering where that missing bolt was. The thing is jammed down there. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Looks like it was grinding against the plastic. Maybe that's not a big deal. Well, that's pretty interesting. Basically, I just need to get a new rope for it, and that should be golden. But anyway, I think this thing can get back to work. For now. What's a crap? So actually by now the log hunting video has been already released, but I still have one more load of firewood material remaining down there. And before I start the repair job on it, I wanna go get that load. But the thing is that it's kinda cold right now. I think it's around -18 right about now. So I let the heater run inside the engine bay for about 30 minutes. Heated up the oil pan for some time. Let's give it some juice and hopefully the thing will go. This is so weird. The battery is showing 100%, yet it's telling me it's empty, shutting down. Freaking GoPro, man. They should rename their company brand into Go Poop instead. Okay, this camera PS is really starting to grind my gears here. 30 seconds of recording and the battery is like, okay bro, I'm about 60% right now. We're good to go for another hour or so. 5 seconds later, never mind bro, I'm dead. Maybe it's funny, I don't know. I guess it has something to do with the gold. Freaking gold and batteries. They don't mix very well. This situation though, I demand some order here. Some order is required. I shall have order in this court. Well, that was a lot of fun. Lots of fun. Yeah, let's go with fun. But with that, it's a wrap. Now, before I end this bit, I want to show you guys something interesting. Maybe it's worth it. The ice thickness is pretty ridiculous here. Normally the water flows about a meter below this log, so the ice thickness here is quite remarkable. But this is not what I want to show you guys. Just a little bonus. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk on that. What the crap? I have a concrete bridge. Why am I walking over this freaking log? Made it. So what I want to show you guys is that I have a tiny swamp area on the property, and I think it's only safe to walk on it during the winter time. Now this may seem like just a tiny bit of water, but check this out. Yeah. Definitely wouldn't really want to get stuck there. Might not get out anymore. Think you would just kind of die and enter respawn mode. It is pretty relaxing to walk here though. Possibly can't be here in the summertime. But it's pretty cool to have a little bit of swampy area on the property. But anyway guys, let's go do something else now. Wait a minute, which way did I came here? By the way, while I was wrestling around with the logs, one of these guys got a very precise hit on one of the bobcat's dire bead. It just broke it off. I heard a large pop and the thing was just gone, bro. Not the one that I repaired. It was the other dire. So I thought, why not apply the same instant cancer solution here as well? So it ain't stupid if it works twice. Right? Right. And now there's this thing, clearly broken. You know, overall, I absolutely love these things. They're just super duper convenient. Walking around, no idea where you're going, and suddenly there's lights and stuff. Wake up. Yeah. Yoo-hoo. Do something. So like I said, overall, I love these motion sensor lights. But why is this one dead? I believe this one has only been here for 2 years. And on the box it says 25,000 hours. So that's like over 1,000 days. 3 years, guys. And also 15,000 times on and off action. Now, if I were to guess, this one is probably about maybe 500 hours. That's even pushing it. And perhaps about 1,000 or 1,500 on and off switches. But the 2 years is up, and so is the warranty. I I swear guys, these things have a eternal clock somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I'm 100% sure at this point. The moment the 2-year warranty ends, the thing just self-destructs. Business-wise, that makes absolute sense. Now imagine if it actually held up to this number. It would probably last for, I don't know, 10 years, maybe even more. But then the light company doesn't get enough revenue, so things need to break very often. Oh well, what are you gonna do? That's the world we live in. Wow, this one actually might be made in Estonia. Doesn't say. No information on this one. Oh, there is a paper. Some useless text. Okay, it doesn't say where it's made in, but I'm guessing Estonia. Which one of it was? This is like the perfect day to do any electrical work, especially outside. Especially outside. I'm pretty sure that screw is most likely halfway its way into China by now. Got to pick another one. Useless. Winter is definitely not the time to do electric work. But desperate measures require desperate actions. Now before bending this type of wire in the winter, you need to heat it up. It's kind of important. Bending it just a couple of times won't probably do any harm, but if you bend it a lot, then the thing can crack. I think that's not the case with twisted pair. But solid wire, you need to heat it up. At least the thing will be easier to change next time. So guys, I've been thinking, whenever something fails on me, I always try to improve the situation. Either making it better or doing some sort of upgrade. Well, I kinda made it better because right now it's a lot easier to change it out in the future if this piece of crap LED lamp fails again. But addition to this, I guess I could do some upgrades as well. This adherence area is always dark, and that light does not reach this area. It would be fantastic if I came here during in the middle of the winter when it's very dark outside, park the car here, then that light will automatically switch on, and as I walk towards this area, and instead of falling over because I can't see anything, so I was thinking let's add a light here which will light up this area nicely, and another light here which should light up this area nicely. Oh, and while we're already at it, let's add one here also. Perhaps it will be useful. maybe. Now, like I said, during the winter time, it's not really advisable to install electrical wiring. So to counter that, I've kept the electrical roll inside the house for about 37 hours now. That should do it. Even after undangling this thing like, I don't know, 76 times by now, it still dangles itself. Like, seriously. These clips, guys. Whoever invented these clips, I hope he has at least 7 Lamborghinis in his garage, because you rock, bro. These things are amazing. Actually, maybe 7 is not even enough. Perhaps about 9 Lamborghinis. And at least couple of private space stations. Yeah. Whoever he is, he deserves it. Not much room. I mean... Whoops. If you're wondering, then I've been meaning to take this off for at least half a year now. This thing is busted. By the way, if you're looking to get some great flathead drill bits, then this is a really good option. So I believe they are from Bosch, and these things will last forever. You can easily just resharpen them on a normal bench grinder. Your only concern is if they are gonna get lost at some point or not. Piece of crap. Okay, now let's install the lights now. Bunch of lights. Good enough for me. Yeah, that guy likes to fall a lot. You have no idea how many times that has fallen off the roof. Neither do I. Because I can't count that far. Yet the thing never dies. I'm pretty sure if I try to drive over it with my dozer, the amount of recoil that will occur from that event will probably slingshot the dozer to the moon. Let's see what's what. And I hope things don't burn down. That would kind of bum me out for a couple of days. So far, I don't see any smoke. Okay, so breaking your leg. Shoo, go away. Okay, so falling and breaking your leg in this area seems highly unlikely now. Similar chances on this spot. And I don't know about this one. You tell me, guys. Was this light worth it? It might be useful here, but I don't know. You tell me. Okay, before I carry on here, let's do a quick night mode test. Let's imagine how I come home from work and pull up to the driveway and see how the lights react. If they nicely light the entire way, then this thing was worth it. But for that we need to turn on the night mode. Click. Oh boy, what a day. What a day. Super glad that the day has ended, finally. So there was this guy, well, a new guy. To be honest, not that new. He's been at the work for about a week now, kind of learning the ropes, I guess. And today I was instructed to teach the guy how to operate a debarking machine. I mean, it's not rocket science. The process is completely automated. All you have to do is just sit at a chair and watch a bunch of monitors. Make sure that nothing goes wrong and everything is nicely going according to plan. And as I was explaining stuff to him, he pretty much just stared at me, laughed, and said, okay. But 5 seconds later, he already forgot what I told him. Now imagine 7 hours of this type of crap. I was pretty fed up by the end of the day. I'm almost positive that the guy was high. If I were to guess, then he most likely had cocaine in his salt bottle. Clearly that was the case. Either that or there were some gaps in his DNA. Most likely. But anyway, let's see if we can get to the door without breaking our neck. Good news, so far I haven't broken my neck yet. Clearly this guy is blind. Got that, just that one. And also this one. Get that sensitivity to maximum. Maximum everything. Thing needs more horsepower. But overall, not bad, I would say. Actually, I think this is a pretty good upgrade. Like I mentioned before, whenever something fails, I either try to make it a bit better or do sort of an upgrade. In this case, I managed both. I made this light so it will be a bit easier for me to change it out in the future, and added 3 more lights to the bunch. Definitely a win-win situation. Bunch of wins. But as things go, there is always room to improve. For example, the entire front end of the house. is nicely covered with motion sensor lights, including the carport area. But the back of the building is completely dark. Well, except for these manual lights that I installed last year. So keep that thing in mind, guys. There is always room to improve. But anyway, before I end this episode, one of you guys sent me something. A pretty cool item. So let's go check it out. You know what, guys? These manual grease guns are hopeless. They never seem to work. So look at what we got. We got cordless grease gun. Now this thing was actually sent to me by a viewer. That's right, one of you guys. I think his name was Big Ben. This guy over here. I guess he saw how I was struggling with this thing, and he pretty much contacted me and offered to send this guy on my way. You know, I always wanted to have one of these. I actually have a huge list of things that I want. Now this guy was also on the list, but it wasn't quite high up there, as I was managing with the manual ones. Didn't wanna invest in this one. Thanks for the free energy, Makita. You know, I prefer it to get the Makita greaser, because I already have a bunch of Makita tools, so I don't need to get a separate charger or additional batteries. I wonder how this works. Maybe you shouldn't have thrown that manual away. How hard can it be? Now you can load up grease to this thing manually, or just insert a grease tube. So what do we have here? I'm guessing this is the pressure gauge. You can change the pressure and the gear selection. Thinking this has something to do with speed. I've got a headlight as well. That is adorable. Also lock function. This actually might come in handy. Some fittings do tend to take a lot of grease. So you can just lock the thing and go have some breakfast, lunch, or a day at the spa. Might need a bigger battery though. Oh boy. What the crap? It had this little air cap in it, and it got rid of it in like 5 seconds. On the manual one, I would have probably bumped for about at least a couple of years. This thing is amazing. Took me like 5 minutes to grease the entire machine. Why didn't I get this before? I think it's like super useful. What? I seriously need to reevaluate my list on things that I need to get. This thing was definitely due low. Thanks a lot, buddy. This thing will be super useful. Also, let's check how much the battery drained. Wow, nothing. That's crazy.